this morning, we are hearing from two more of the Americans detained in Turks and Caicos after ammunition was found in their luggage. 5 Americans in total each face up to 12 years in prison on the island after they say they inadvertently left ammo in their bags. None were carrying firearms. Our Chris Van Cleve spoke with 2 of them.
It was just so unreal to me. And all they kept saying was like, this is a serious charge. 12 years mandatory to prison. 12 years. Where all this stuff coming from? I'm like, what?
I fully understand what the island is trying to accomplish and trying to get in front of their gun violence that they're experiencing. I just don't see how punishing us in this way gets them any closer to that goal.
So Jacqueline Charles is joining us now to talk a little bit more about this. She is a Haiti and Caribbean correspondent for the Miami Herald. Thanks for joining us. So we had a delegation of lawmakers and representatives. They went to Turks and Caicos in the hopes of getting these Americans home. Didn't work out that way. What can you tell us about the delegation's efforts and why they didn't accomplish what they hoped to?
Well, prior to their arrival, the government made it very clear that they cannot get involved in a court case. And that is the message that this delegation heard, not only from the island's premier, but also from the island's British appointed governor, that they basically have to allow this judicial process to go through. But of course, they raised their concerns, as you heard from one of the individuals. 12 years is a very serious sentence. It's a mandatory minimum under this new law that was passed, and there are no exceptions that are being made for tourists. So we're going to wait and see what happens this week, because there are 2 cases, I understand, that are going back before the courts, and to see whether or not there's judicial discretion that can be applied here so that these individuals can be allowed to return home to the United States.
Right. And if the minimum is 12 years, is there any possibility that that minimum could be changed or reduced?
Well, one of the things that was brought up was that there is some judicial discretion in this. And that's been one of the questions that have been brought up, is that this law, there's a similar law in the Cayman Islands, but it does allow for some discretion on the beginning end. Here, you have to go before the judge. And as you see, they've been there now for a while. The Turks and Caicos is not very cheap, so to speak. It's unclear how they are financing their extended stay. Of course, some of them may lose their jobs because of this time away. This was supposed to be a vacation that is basically for them turning into a nightmare.
Yeah, either way, they're going to be paying a pretty hefty price. I wanted to sort of remind people about what this law is and why the Turks and Caicos thought that it was important to do this. None of these people were carrying firearms, but they did have ammunition in their luggage.
Yes, and I have to tell you, I am from the Turks and Caicos. It's an group of islands, just 40,000. They've been dealing with a huge crime wave led by gun violence. It's affected the island a great deal, despite, the sun, the surf, and what you see, the individuals who live there. They've been struggling through this. Families have been personally affected. And so, what they wanted to do was to get in front of this. And so they passed some very tough gun measures, which basically says you're caught with a firearm, you're caught with ammunition. It is a minimum 12-year sentence in prison, no exceptions. And I think that is what's, now being debated, whether or not we're making criminals out of people who inadvertently, left bullets,
Right.
in their bags because they're hunting or something else.
Right. Jacqueline Charles, thank you so much.
Thank you.